Joining us now is Congressman Mike Waltz, who served in uniform and currently serves on the House Armed Services Committee. Congressman, the atrocities and acts of barbarism seem to be increasing in Ukraine. The peace talks are like a distant memory. Is there any prospect left for peace here?
Well, Trey, you're about to see a new phase of this war. The Russians are rearming, they're refitting. And under this new general, the butcher of Syria, they are going to come back with a vengeance. And Putin is going to level eastern Ukraine. I just spent the afternoon talking to a number of veterans who have actually been on the ground helping and mentoring and assisting, fighting alongside. These are U.S. veterans fighting alongside Ukrainian special forces. A lot of the groups that were so heroic in Afghanistan have now shifted to Ukraine, and the frustration level, Trey, is through the roof. They may be getting Javelin missiles, but then they don't get the battery for the launchers. They're running out of artillery rounds. They're running out of fuel because Putin has been targeting Ukraine's fuel depots. And the biggest thing is they're not getting the heavy weapons, the artillery, the tanks, the armored vehicles, and the resupply that they need to actually take the fight to the Russian military in depth. They need to be targeting their logistics right now as they regroup. They need to be targeting their command and control. And here's the thing, and Jake Sullivan said it today, our objectives for the Ukrainians are all wrong. Jake Sullivan said, the President's National Security Advisor, we're going to help them get to the negotiating table. We're going to help them fight to a standstill. The hell with that, Trey. I mean, really, the hell with the negotiating and the peace table. We need to help them defeat the Russians, drive the Russians for Ukrainian soil, because if we allow this to settle into a stalemate, all Putin's going to do is keep taking more and more and more, and then 5-6 years from now, lick his wounds, and we'll be right back at this again. We have to help Zelensky win, but that's not the objective of this White House.
And that leads nicely to the next question. Is there some level of depravity that Jake Sullivan or Joe Biden might see or hear about that would spur them to do more than what this administration's done so far?
Because helping Zelensky win isn't their objective. It's fear of escalation from Putin. That's their ultimate objective. Just do barely enough to help Zelensky as much as we can, but we're letting Putin set the ceiling of what type of sophisticated aid that we give them. But let's look in contrast to Boris Johnson, who's on the ground, walking the streets, demonstrating leadership alongside Zelensky, the British Prime Minister. And oh, by the way, he's announcing anti-ship missiles, that the Harpoon anti-ship missiles that the Ukrainians have been asking for over a year. When I was out there last year, they were begging for them. They're delivering massive armored vehicles. The United Kingdom is stepping up. Joe Biden needs to step up and be the leader of the free world and not let Putin deter us.
Congressman, I know the U.S. cannot be the world's police officer. I heard that when I served in the same body. But you know what?
I agree.
It's not just the police that help people. It's also average, everyday folks who see acts of malevolence and depravity and say, that's enough. You've got innocents being targeted. You've got women and children being killed. You've got nuclear sites that are at risk. I mean, at what point do they say, you know what? Maybe we can't reason with Putin?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And here's the thing. Putin doesn't want a war with NATO any more than we do with him. Deterrence is a two-way street. And now that we've seen just how bad the Russian military is, he couldn't take on 30 NATO nations plus the United States. So let's give the Ukrainians everything they need to win this fight. Not let it settle into a stalemate where they continue to lose more and more and more of their country over time.
Thank you, Congressman. Thank you for your service, and thank you for coming on a Sunday night and sharing your insight with us.